You guys know what I'm gonna say, don't you? Always. And let's go look at a van. I'm getting ready to look at I think it's a 2001 Dodge Ram van, not a ProMaster. So it's an older vehicle. It's a low roof. I'll give you details. Well, you don't need details. You're gonna see it in a couple of minutes. It's so crazy here in Pennsylvania, weather-wise. You'd think we would go into a nice gradual spring, but no, we don't. So Monday, I think it was, the temperature was 77 degrees. It was disgustingly hot, but not humid. But to go from that temperature difference, I guess somewhere in the 50s or 60s, all the way up to 77, just overnight, was ridiculous. And then today, it's in the 50s. So, and this weekend, it's gonna be in the 50s again. So I'm going to take a hike at White Clay Creek State Park and say goodbye winter and welcome spring. Why is it that I'm always rushing when I'm getting out the door to go look at a van? Seems like I'm always rushing everywhere, unfortunately. Such is life. Okay, I looked it up while I was in line in traffic, and it is a 2000 low roof but extended wheelbase. So I haven't had much success with the high tops. They don't make the space feel any bigger to me. And while I thought I wanted a high top in order to be able to stand, I don't plan to have a kitchen. I don't plan to have a shower or a bathroom. I really just need the darn van to sleep in. And so a low top will probably suffice, because personally, when I go camping, I'm spending all of my time outdoors. I am not spending it in a vehicle. Now, the only time when I would obviously need to take shelter inside my vehicle would be during a rainstorm or, you know, some kind of weather event, right? Or if I was sick. In either case, I'm probably gonna be sitting on my bed reading or doing something, sitting down, or sleeping, right? So I don't think I need the high top, and I'm gonna start looking at low tops. They're a lot cheaper. They feel a lot better when you drive them, and I think it's all I need. What scares me about the high tops more than anything is not their height going under bridges or blowing in the wind or anything like that. It is that it appears that when you're dealing with a high top van, at least what the vans that I've seen so far, is that the van is higher off the ground. It's got a bigger lift. It's got bigger tires. Those tires are $300 to $350 a piece. So just to replace the tires is like ridiculous, right? And if I'm doing a lot of mileage, number one, I'm wearing the tires out a lot, and then the gas mileage, so you're spending more in gasoline. And so once again, I'm thinking, especially because I'm going into national and state forests where there's tree overhangs, etc. Go with the shorter van. I'm not gonna be walking around on my knees like some van lifers do, I hope. And if I find that I'm doing that a lot, then I probably will trade it in for a mid or high top. That's my thought right now. All right, so I'm here at the Home Depot in Delaware where I'm going to meet the gentleman about the van. He says he's on his way. He's at the gas station. It's a message that just popped up in front of my camera lens. It is actually, I keep changing this, don't I? I'm horrible at these details. It's a 2001 Dodge Ram 3500. It is used currently, I think, as a contractor van. So I'm not sure what it looks like inside, but I want to gut the inside anyway. And we'll take a look at it and see if... I don't know what I want, guys. I just don't know what I want. I wish I did. There he is. It's pretty tall. I don't know if I can show you. Let's see. Can't really show you, but the bumper's up to my knee, so it's a pretty far jump. The good thing about going to see a lot of vans is that you really get a sense for what you want. I'm not in a hurry to purchase. I know I want a Dodge Ram, and again, it was high off the ground, but then it had running boards. I'm like, what's the point of having running boards if you're gonna have a lift, right? The point of having the lift is so you can clear things. But this particular van needed some work. The transmission shifted not smoothly. The engine didn't run smoothly. I didn't like the fact that it didn't have barn doors in the back. I want barn doors, but I didn't know that until I looked at this one. It was one solid door. Had barn doors on the side. It was a passenger van that he got rid of the seats, and I can see now that when you get rid of the seats, it's nice and flat, so I can do that. So I'm going to look for a Dodge Ram passenger van. Was fine. It had an airbag. I want an older vehicle because it doesn't have a lot of the bells and whistles that the newer vehicles have, which I don't really care for. This had power windows, power locks. I'm running over the rumble strip. Can you hear that? This had power windows, power locks. It really was everything that I wanted, except that it was in pretty rough shape, but at least I've narrowed it down. down in the back of it. The guy must have thought I was an idiot, but he was so, so nice. So he had a big piece of plywood in the back to protect the floor, but it had the carpeting and it was all greasy, which would have been fine. I could have replaced the carpeting. The headliner was torn down. The vinyl padding on the side of the walls, because it was a passenger van, was kind of in rough shape too, but I would have lived with it. Again, I'm just camping in this van. I don't really care what it looks like all that much. I want it to be clean and just a cozy space. But when I was sitting in the back on the plywood and just sitting there, it was what I was looking for. For whatever reason, it had windows all around, but for whatever reason, it felt much more spacious than those high top vans. Maybe I was just looking for that cozy feel that I wasn't getting in those high top vans. Maybe that's what was missing. Not that it isn't spacious, because it's the same size, but for some reason, maybe it didn't have that cozy feel and I didn't recognize what it was that I was looking for. So I think I found the van that I want, and hopefully I will purchase my van for camping this spring. Good about this van was the suspension. So as we were driving on Route 202, which is a fairly big highway, and I was only going probably 50-55 top speed, but when we would hit a bump, the van would just bounce and bounce and bounce. So I think what I need to find is a passenger van, an older one, rather than a cargo van to begin with, although I could deal with a cargo van and the rugged look inside as long as it wasn't really filthy. I guess it just depends on what I come across on Facebook Marketplace or elsewhere. Nobody